Hello, good evening traders. I hope you're doing well. Just came into the charts, so I've been a little bit outside. I was doing necessary things. Just came back like a half an hour ago and I did a quick prep. We just saw a big rejection, which is not part of my playbook. That's why I didn't take it. That key part of rejection here, if you see, and I'm going to show you now what I mean. So the part of rejection, you see, was exactly at the monthly VPOC, weekly previous DVA VWAP is where we saw the previous rejections. And so there was a confluence of three there. That was why we saw the big rejection. And was also like the POC of a big, I think it's like 5 days POC, which is basically, I'm going to show you now. It's basically this POC. It's been like 5-6 days, create a good balance area. So we saw the rejection of this one. So there was a conference on three there. I didn't take it, as I said, because it's not part of my playbook. So now what I'll be looking into is basically, yeah, here's the overnight low. So I'm gonna be looking fair breakdown in this area, either the overnight low or probably at the at the CVA high, 51, 58.71 over here. Or we may see we may see a bigger dip right here, which is the previous day low. So I tend to buy any of this. Just gonna do a screenshot for my archive. Anyway, here we are, just waiting. We hit the CVA low, so some rejection there, but I think it's gonna test it again. That would be a nice move, whoever takes it, whoever took it. Another part is because I didn't take it, it's not part of my playbook, but also I literally just was opening my chart, so I wasn't prepared for it. It came just right into the opening, like 10 minutes after the opening. We saw it tested the CVA low, and it tries to go higher now, getting into the area again of yesterday's CVA. The blue zone is the yesterday's DVA. There's nothing for me there now. I've been expecting to drop below so I can get the failed breakdown, which is part of my playbook. Uh, if we go below the overnight low and we come back above the CVA high, I tend to take my first partials here just before that. And actually, I'm going to trail it until the weekly previous DVA low. But we'll see how it's going to go. So far, we see volume coming. Um, so we see some volume coming. Just dipped below the. Let me see. Yeah, we can see here. So we can see here that was a significant low. Here dip below. Here dip below again, but it wasn't the overnight low. so that's why I didn't take it. We'll see. I'm gonna be expecting maybe to dive a little bit lower. That was also a valid place to trade because I could take a failed breakdown here and enter here and take up to the major like 6 points or up to here. But the thing is that I didn't see that that was a significant level to take. So in theory, I could take that failed breakdown because we had a significant low at the 58.77. So I'm not gonna risk anymore. For now, I'm just gonna be waiting maybe a deeper low at the overnight, which usually happens. Could be this one. Could be also like a pullback, like a big pullback to continue lower. As I said, nothing for me there now. I'm just gonna, yeah, in theory I could take it, but we see now probably volume. The delta is testing again the base, and we'll see how it's gonna react to it. To be honest, it looks like a pullback to me. Let's see. Anyway, I'm gonna set Mancini's levels. They may have been altered a bit. Okay. So, okay, here we are. Okay, I think it's doing a pullback now. Failed breakdown at this significant level, which we lost before, and now we're trying to reclaim it. It looks a bit weak. I think I'm gonna be waiting. I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna be waiting on the overnight lows to hit here somewhere. Uh, let's see how it goes. It tries to push it, but it's also the VWAP and it's a major. Yeah, which is having problems to cross the VWAP. That's why now probably it's gonna do a bigger dive in the overnight low. We'll see how it's gonna go with that. We see some strength coming, but it's a bit problematic to be honest. We see how the sellers immediately taking step here after its intention to buy. I'm just looking at the order flow now as well, just to see if the buyers are gonna step in. They can sustain it. I'm gonna be watching the order flow to see if there's gonna be any difference on it while I'm putting the levels. We see something attempts to change this. The buyers haven't given up yet, and they keep trying to push it. We see a big battle here at the base of the delta and the VWAP. I mean, yeah, and I got taken out. It wasn't part of my immediate playbook, but I was expecting this fail breakdown to have some breakthrough and continuation, which didn't work. We see the buyers are keep pushing. I expect the volume to come. I expect the volume to come. It's coming actually, I can see it on the delta. I expect a follow through now. Yeah, there is some absorption there, but it seems like the buyers are holding. Yes, they show some good strength there, the buyers. There's a seller's absorption. That's why I keep holding my position. I expect a retest of the overnight high. The buyers keep showing some strength there. Probably they're aiming for the DVA high. Let's see. I see some good continuation there. securing some profits. I see good volume coming. I'm trying to push it. As you realized, I could take profit there, but I tried to push it a little bit because I had my first loss, and I believe it can certainly reach the overnight high again. Let's see if it can push a little bit higher. I'm out for now. I'm almost at break even now. Uh, Now I'm not gonna enter again. It seems weak, so I'm gonna be waiting probably another retest of the lows. I'm waiting an overnight low. Overnight low. This wasn't part of the playbook, but I saw some continuation from the failed breakdown, which not failed breakdown, but the significant lows here, and I took the continuation. Uh, we can still we see that it's trying to break the DVA high. Yeah, there was a follow through indeed. That's why sometimes you need to have a faith and keep your trades up. Yeah, there's not a place again to enter a position. So I'm gonna be we see if we're gonna have a pullback or something. I'm expecting a pullback of 5900, entering uh, entering the CVA again. Let's see if we're gonna have that pullback. Yeah, that was a difficult trade because it wasn't right on my playbook. It was kind of late in the sequence, and I hesitated here, and I took the trade, and I took a loss, which I shouldn't, because we may see some really good continuation here. But that's trade, I guess. I'm kind of like break even now, so I'm not in a rush to enter. I'm just gonna be waiting another opportunity to get at the lows. Uh, that was a really good opportunity I missed because I didn't see on the overall pictures that this kind of like level here was a significant low. We see some very good absorption there. I'm adding again because I saw the big absorption coming up and volume. We see the buyers are holding well despite the pressure. I'm looking to take some profits at the 59.25, which has been the magnet. If we work up way there, we'll see how it's gonna go. Is the overnight high there? I'm expecting to break it again. Yes, it's going very well. Very well. There is some reaction there at the 2.5k delta, but there is some great, I see some really strength there, so I'm just waiting for the follow through. There is some good absorption there. Let's see, price is holding up. I'm expecting a retest now, which is happening, and I'm expecting to push higher. Yes, it's happening. Very nice volume. Let's see if we're gonna have a continuation there and break the 2.5k. Don't forget that the 59.25 is a magnet, so price is trying to break it now. 59.15 is the VWAP, by the way. The bulls are showing some good strength there. They're holding the price despite the 2.5k delta rejection. I'm expecting a continuation there. So I closed my trade. I saw a big pullback coming. Yeah, so buys they couldn't hold up there. They're quite exhausted. Let's see if it's gonna test the 59 quadrant, which is this one. 59 quadrant is the CVA low. So we may see price retesting it and going higher and test again. So this is what I'm be looking now. Hasn't quite tested the CVA low. That's why I'm not doing anything at the moment. We're very close to the overnight high now. Let's see if we're gonna have another dip down. Yeah, I could have taken profits. Hold on a second now. Could have taken profits around here. I was up like 400, and that was a good place to take profits. To be honest, I was just a bit greedy there. To be honest, uh, that would be a really nice. That would be a really nice profit to take there. I was just a bit greedy, to be honest. But yeah, that was my mistake. That would be really nice profits for the day, to be honest. It would have been like 20% of my account. I'm just waiting for price to dive again. Also, we can see that here. We saw that this is a yesterday's DVA. We saw how price came right underneath. It did a fail breakdown there, and what it did, it just tested the VWAP and with an attempt to break the highs. Yeah, that would have been a nice entry here, but it's the one I missed before, so I missed the opportunity. We're just waiting for another opportunity now. I'm waiting for another pullback and maybe somewhere here or the VWAP. It seems that price is did a pullback at the base and is trying to break again. We see here that the price did a pullback at the base. But it found some rejection at the VWAP there. This is the previous day VWAP. I'm leaving it for now to see how it's gonna go. It shows besides that it has shown some strength there, you see. It didn't go all the way down. It shows some strength there. So I'm expecting to retest it now, or we may see a bigger dive. It's kind of a dangerous area there, to be honest, because we may see another big pullback down. The virus is stepping in, but they are very reluctant so far. Now they show a little bit more aggression. They really want to break this level. Okay, I saw some sellers at the delta, but they instantly were bought, so that's a good sign. Let's see if we can push to 59.25. Expecting that we break the 59.80s, which is the monthly VPOC and VWAP. They still can't pursue, which takes a lot of time, but let's give it a little bit of time. I was out as I saw big sellers coming. Let's risk it again. I'm playing with a big size now, so I don't really feel comfortable, to be honest. And I try to be a little bit more protective. Okay, we see the sellers are pushing through now. It looks like a really good initial move. Are they gonna break the 59.90s? That's a big question. That's a very big question indeed. I see that they're getting absorbed so far within this zone. It's gonna be a tough one, but we'll see. I'm out and waiting further signs of strength. They're testing again the base here. I haven't been able to push. We may see now like a big rejection. It seems that the delta at the base is holding so far. That's why it hasn't gone through. It's a bit of a tough spot there. Let's see now. I saw here that they failed to go down. That's why I entered, and I saw also like the volume coming in right at the base. But I'm not sure if they will be able to push. Just gonna give it some space. It's a bit risky to be honest, but if it plays out, it's gonna play out big. Also, the fact that the sellers they couldn't push down, even they tried twice, that's also like a good sign. Besides, we're at the volume at the base. If this level breaks, it's gonna be a big one. So my taking profit target is at the highs, is just before the poke of the CVA. The pattern itself, as it goes like this, it's also very aggressive. You see the pattern like this is also very aggressive. So I see some absorption there from the sellers. Let's see. Are the buyers are going to absorb all the sellers, or are we going to have another pullback? It seems they're really pushing through now. I'm gonna rely that the buyers are still holding the base and they're pushing. And that's why I'm just gonna give it some space. Okay, this is some really good stuff here. We're now exactly almost like testing again the VWAP, but let's see if we're gonna break this time. We tested like, I don't know how many times we tested, like 5 times, 4, 5, 6 times. It's kind of lost the count. The base of the delta is holding firmly, so if it breaks, it's gonna be a big one, as I said. I'm expecting 59.30s to hit. Just gonna give it some space and some time. We keep seeing the sellers pressing, but the buyers, they don't feel a thing. They just bottom again. Delta is holding again at a very good space at 430s, 5560s, and it keeps pushing. So this market has been like a, like a thriller, like a serial killer thriller today. Well, it's gonna break the 5980s, which is the VWAP, or not. It has done quite a big dive at the 5871 before we saw. So, oh wow, okay, quite a rejection. Let's see, broke. Okay, broke the base. So I'm ready to. If it doesn't hold now, I'm just gonna stop it out. As I said, it's been like a thriller. Yeah, just got out. I'm gonna get in again if I see some good movement from the on the order flow. Quite a big thriller, to be honest. Okay, we see prices holding up there, but it's on a sideways now. Wow, we saw some insane volume coming in. I'm gonna join with them. Nothing much really. We keep trying over an hour to break the 59.90s. So now I'm sitting on my hands and I'm waiting for the price to really drop on the overnight low, and I'm gonna enter again, aiming for the retest again of this level. So I'm just not doing anything at the moment. Another attempt on its way. Let's try again. I have nothing to lose. It could be one of those times that actually breaks, but we don't know when it's gonna break and how and everything. It did though. It did though. We see a failed breakdown right at the delta. So as we saw here again, the same pattern like this happened here, happen again here. So not sure if it plays any role, but we're gonna find out. It's nice to explore the pattern, failed breakdowns, which it can happen to the delta. I've seen it happening to the high time frames as well. Even though Mancini is applying it only the technical levels, but if you notice this pattern is happening to many different sorts of levels. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. It's also another thing that happened here, which we see this bull flag, little bull flag. So if we break the monthly VWAP and stuff, then in the VPOC, the next high time frame is basically the yearly previous DVA high. There's like a stack up of levels there. And I don't see the buyers going here today, to be honest. There's a buyer so far, they keep pushing. The sellers is just on the defensive side of things. They're basically just defending the level and not really aggressive. Just wait and see again. There's a big choppy area here. That's why today I came in a little bit late. And that's why I've been saying that it's always come prepared and ready to trade right from the bat. We see a big absorption now. You see how the delta just keep pushing down, but the buyers are holding. We're in a state now where the buyers are absorbing everything. The sellers are throwing at them. But the buyers are not like good enough as well to break the monthly VPOC and the weekly previous DVA VWAP. And we're just like in a limbo phase kinda. We're still within yesterday's range, like balanced more like a day. buyers are keep buying, keep buying. They're absorbing all the sellers. They tried really hard now, but this is called compression, by the way, as Nadro says. Some people they call it flag. You can say it's flag. You can see like this, like a flag. But also like merit is called compression, which is basically like energy accumulated and just waits to burst at some point. I entered again as I saw we reached at the bottom of today's delta levels, and that literally bias is absorbing everything. It may work, it may not. We'll see how it goes. We see also like the overnight high here plays a good role in observing everything. I'm gonna hold my position for now. Really, I think the buyers now have stretched themselves quite a lot. And to be honest, I don't think we're gonna make it. Okay, so the buyers got absorbed instantly now, but they keep pushing. They're building a big base now. We can see they're building a very good base around here, expecting to break at some point. So building a big base around here, that's a good sign showing some kind of acceptance around here. And they're hitting the stops slowly by slowly, of the sellers.